Welcome to Numb Bills Fan podcast number 196. I'm your host today, David Palermo, and this episode we'll talk about Vontae Davis retiring and just some quick thoughts about the Bills' future personnel-wise. And at the cornerback spot, they elevated a dude from the practice squad. So I guess we'll get into that, and just really this podcast will be good if you're tuning in, later, because I think this will set the tone for something to draw back to what we're concerned with players moving forward and coaches, and hopefully the Bills right now, if you're listening, are 0-2. They're going into Minnesota, and you never know. The Bills beat the Atlanta Falcons last season, and everybody's expecting the Bills to get crushed. But podcast 197 will have that preview, but this podcast will hopefully stand the test of time on culture, workplace, and what it's like to be a good teammate. So as always, on the line coming in is Mike Smith. Follow him on Twitter at FantasySmitty. Follow Numb Bills Fan everywhere. Follow along Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All right, Mike. So obviously you're here because you're singing along. Vontae Davis retires at halftime.
I beat my buddy Tommy Hildreth on the 9th hole with a putter. I got a 6 on a par 4, and he shot an 8. I beat him with a putter. I literally, from tee box to ball in the hole, 6 shots, putter only, okay? I can take that stuff around. That's what I do. But talking about this Vontae Davis.
How the hell do you interrupt me and then you go into that? I mean, that was worth getting interrupted for, but what the fuck? Dude?
Exactly.
Take your fucking turn, one at a time.
I come with bombs, Dave. I come with bombs. I drop bombs. Okay, that's why. Because I drop bombs.
No,
okay?
It's just
Even
you're naturally
putter.
good at spewing bullshit, and so am I. So I figure, I'll bring you into this fucking
you just let
fire.
it roll.
But
just throw it in there. All right. So what up with Vontae Davis? What's your perspective?
All right, I guess you're leading the show. So, you fucking drunk bastard! I knew this would happen. Jesus Christ! It's okay though. This is great. Because it's Saturday night, 9:36. I have no life.
From about 2:00 in the afternoon to 9:36 present time, I have been drinking. I've been carrying around my cooler, and in my cooler, I have a 750 milliliter bottle of Red Stag, and then I got Coors Light. So, you have a little drink, you mix it with a little drink.
You ever heard of the Rock Power Report podcast? Drew is known for being hammered and podcasting and shit, and having ultimate reaction in the middle. It's actually pretty good shit, and it's way over the top.
Great.
Dude,
fantastic.
I don't know, man. I might be able to field the fucking the United States drinking team Field of Dreams over here at Numb Bills Fan Podcast with you and fucking Dean Milak. I mean, Jeff Knight is an OG. If you remember Jeff Knight, the accountant from the draft show. Jeff Knight is an OG alcoholic. He's got some drinking under his belt. Me, I'm fucked, dude. 3 drinks, I'm fucked. It's over. Oh yeah,
dude, bro. Me too. And I'm past 3 and 5 and 7 and 8. And 9. So we're good to go. We're all primed up, baby.
Well, what are you priming for, Mike? You shaved your beard off. Why? Do you want to tell the crowd why you shaved your beard off?
Well, I didn't know we were getting my personal life.
Well, I'm just saying, you look good. You're turning a new leaf.
I shaved my beard to cleanse myself, if you will, of my bad habits. Now, one of those bad habits is not going to be cleansed, which is probably the alcohol, but we enjoy it too much. Can't get rid of everything. But I'm trying to work out more.
Do you think Vontae Davis should have shaved maybe before he retired, or was he shaved?
Well, I spotted this, when he got torched in the preseason game. I realized at that part, he wasn't.
You realize,
fit.
Fuck, do we have a pro personnel staff? Or were you like, oh, fuck, well, what did this workout entail? Is this like a blind, yo, man, trust me, I'm good?
I give him credit because he got the contract based on his name and name recognition. You have to pay for that shit. And kid had squabbles. He had skills. He used to be able to cover. And then apparently he got old. And now he can't cover for shit. And and that's where he is. So instead of just like most people, because I feel like most people in that scenario are like, yo, I suck, but I'm getting paid like $5 million. I'm just going to keep sucking until they just say it's time to go.
Yo, not for nothing, homie, but like, I don't know, man. I'm 5'7", measurables right now are 5'7", probably about $152 to $160 if I'm lucky.
Yeah, you're at the I will get my chest caved in level. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but I'm also at that level that I'll fucking ankle pick your ass and then kick you right in the fucking balls with your leg over your head too.
Yeah, I'll take a thumb and just shove it right in your eye socket.
Your ACLs are so shot. All you got to do is just a heavy gust and fucking blow on your knees, and you're fucking done.
Get close to one of my ACLs, and I'm
toast. I'll
grabbing
be
you,
teabagging
and
your
I
fucking.
Can just slam you down onto the ground, and then I can just just to taunt you. I wouldn't even beat you. I would just give you really hard nuggies. I'm like, you like that, you little bitch? And because I'd feel bad, breaking someone that's so frail bodied.
You know what, dude? I was gonna say
I wouldn't even be able to beat you. I
was gonna say I'd love to just
get
your ass
Vontae
down.
Davis.
No. I want to direct this shit. What would happen is I would give you the classic cross your arms and fucking teabag. But the problem is I'm not here to do you favors with my salty balls in your fucking throat. So, if you want any salt, you got Taco Bell, you got other options. It ain't me. Get out of here with trying to wrestle me all of a sudden.
I'm all for the free plug. Listeners, just know on Uber Eats next week from the 24th to the 30th, you can get free McDonald's delivery. So, use the promo code. And it's like I'll put it up on my Twitter page because you don't want to miss out because you never know.
Wait, don't put it on the air. What's your Twitter?
At Fantasy Smitty.
All right. How do you spell Smitty? A lot of people can't spell. Do we need to spell fantasy for people? All right. Here's a little spell tip idea. Any one of you motherfuckers with a phone that is not my dad's flip phone. Because as I mentioned before, this motherfucker still writes the spread down while calling somebody. All right, so what do we got for fucking Bama? It's like, what? Go on your phone. Anyways, so, you could type in search and then search the term. I do this with player names because they're so fucking confusing. Like Latulele, I was like, all right, star, is it 1R or 2R? So you want to kind of... so FANTASYSMITTY, Fantasy Smitty. There you go. And if you want to find out what the promo code is, you got to follow his ass. And let him know.
The only way you were gonna get it is to follow me because it's not like I have it in my memory bank. I haven't used it yet.
Don't just give him a scroll by and be a doucheroo either. You better get your ass in there. Give him a follow. Are you over do you have 11 followers yet?
I'm up to 18, bro. I'm
all
really
right. I mean, as long as you're sacking double digits, I guess. We're good.
Dude, just killing, bro. But I went from 8 to 11 to 18, so we're on the move.
Just a word of advice.
You gotta start
just a word of advice. I got word from upper management, from the CEO of Numb Bills Fan podcast, and he was telling me.
What's he saying? What are they saying? Did the board meet? Was there a board meeting?
Yeah, dude. And the in-house board meeting, a source tells me that don't ever pay for fucking followers because that's fucked up.
How much does a follower cost if you were to pay for one?
What they have is this clever thing called a Twitter audit, and I'm not going to mention any names, but there's some people that might have Bills content out there that if you do a Twitter audit on them, they have some bought followers, and I'm very proud to say that I have never paid for a follower. So the whopping 1,500 something followers on Numb Bills Fan. Please follow along on Numb Bills Fan on Twitter. I've been getting an average, a couple follows a day lately. It's actually been going up, which is good.
Yeah, you got more than that, bro. You're fucking big timer, bro.
No, it's actually pretty low because then you look at other people and you're like
1583 though, bro.
Oh, really, dude? I look at other people's Twitters and I'm like, what the fuck have you done for me lately? And how the fuck did you get this number? And at the same time, I really don't care because I feel like I'm alone in this universe of this Bills talk. I'm like an island screaming lately, except for a couple other people, hey, I think this fucking Bills team's going to go down in flames. Anyways, so back to Vontae Davis retiring at halftime. You know what my take is, Mike? is I actually agree with the narrative that's like really fucked up because that's like saying
Nah,
in the
I
middle
love
of
it, dude.
Can
I
I
love
fucking
it.
finish my point? You
Love
fucking
it. Go ahead.
fuck.
I love it.
All right.
I love it.
Well,
just go on.
Jesus Christ. I'll let you know when I'm ready, all right? I'll be like, all right, Mike, so what do you think? All right, so that'll be your cue. All right, so
Hey, Dave.
what?
I don't know why you're going on this tangent. Let's get to the point. Why are you against this? Let's go.
What else can you do in life and just quit at halftime and not get like, I don't know. The situation the Bills were in with the cornerback being injured and out for the game in Gaines. And, you know, you have one more half of football and you can retire at the end of it. And I understand, you know, you can't, you know, it might not matter to you, but you have a lot of people out there who have sacrificed a lot. And he's taken out a lot of, he's taken a lot of reps from people for his spot. And whether he's starting or not, you know, and I don't know, Mike. I could never imagine being in like a band and then halfway through my set being like, yo, I'm out.
Dave, this is how I quit the car dealer industry. Okay?
What are you talking about?
Okay, so parallel. And look, this speaks to what's going on in the organization. Now, I don't actually know what's going on in the organization.
Can you finish
now.
your point and then give me an opening because you might.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, but I'll listen for a minute.
Just quiet.
All right,
down
I'll pipe down. Mike.
Okay, yeah.
All right, here I go.
sounds
Hold on,
great.
let me put the mic down. I'll just rip this bong. Hold on, Mike. Mega fucking bong rips. Get out with it, Mike. We're waiting.
So Vontae Davis quits at halftime, and it reminded me of the day I quit selling cars. I was there halfway through the day, and the car dealership sucked. They didn't know what they were doing. Out, no noise, no nothing. Boom, I'm on the phone. Get out of here. So it reminded me of the day, and it was a terrible dealership. I mean, they were awful. Everything was different every single day. And just one day, I was just like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. So I call another job, and I'm like, hey, you know, I know it's been a while, but hey, do you guys got some hours for me? My manager's like, yeah, we definitely got some hours over here for you over at the Brook House. So I'm like, great. So they call me into the office. They're like, Mike, we need you to help close out this deal. It was a new kid. They're like, Mike, we need you to help the kid close out this deal over here. I go, guys, no, I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now. You know, didn't wait to the end of the day, didn't wait to nothing because it was a wreck in there. So Vontae Davis, maybe, now I don't know, maybe as a veteran of the league is like, what the fuck is going on in Buffalo? They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're calling these raggedy ass plays on defense. We're getting throttled. We're not doing nothing on offense. Our quarterback can't hit a broadside of a barn. He can't recognize the fact there's a blitzing linebacker and he's got a wide open tight end who can get 30 yards easy. Can't even recognize that. We're getting destroyed. He's like, this ain't going to be my last year. He's like, I'm just going to be done now. Fuck it. I don't need any more money. I already got millions of dollars. I was once an elite defensive back in the NFL, so I'm paid. I'm done. I'll go on my next career. I'm out of here, you know? But go ahead, Dave. What do you got to add to that? You know what I'm saying? Bong rip. Okay. Yeah, bong rip. Yeah,
so,
nice,
like, in my deep thoughts
there.
over here, and mega bong
deep,
rip thoughts.
Yeah, real deep.
Yeah, dude. I would not sit on this bong. On the real, dude, I don't think I could use the popcorn emoji more than I want to. Like, every time I text or send a tweet or talk about the Bills, dude. Like
did you say popcorn?
Yeah, because, like, bro, I'll be honest, man.
I don't even know what that means. Explain
means,
to the audience what the popcorn emoji means, because I would just think that means popcorn.
What it means to me is just like, you know, man, I sometimes forget why. I don't know. This podcast got started because I had like a fire. Like I just wanted to figure out this Bill shit, you know? You know what I mean, dude? Like, you and I would go to the draft parties all the time. Like, it was awesome. We would always watch the draft together. And I really like breaking down the Bills with you over the years. And it's like, it always keeps me interested. But, you know.
So, in a way, right now, you're just saying how much I've inspired you to be the person you are today. Thank you, Dave.
Honestly, dude.
I go out of, I don't really go out of my way. I just try to make everybody have a good day.
But dude, there wasn't.
I'm glad I did that for you. I'm glad I've inspired you to be here in life. So there's no problem, buddy. I do that anytime. It's just what I do, buddy.
Well, Mike, without you, I mean, how would this world exist? So
I was thinking about that today.
Of course you were.
I mean,
no brainer.
Oddly enough,
Mike, think about your global impact.
The thing is, I know my global impact is nothing, but
I knew you were a diamond in the rough. Shit, dude, you're a fucking, you know what I mean? You're a diamond mountain. Dude, I just fucking blew the dust off you, fucking farting, because that's how easy the dust was to come off. Because you were a diamond in the rough here the whole time, Diamond Mountain Mike.
Yeah, man, I've been doing big things.
Talking mad shit since in your mom's fucking womb. Talking mad shit kicking my stomach. Yo, let me out.
I try to save the world, but the world doesn't want saving. You know what I mean? They want to be pissed off, angry, upset.
All right, back to my popcorn emoji. You're boring the shit out of me. All right, so listen. Here's why. Because I've always had this complex of personality types that, like, they just say, this is just how it's done. And I've always been like, well, why? Well, I like coaches like Lance Leipold from UB. He goes on the radio. He explains why. He explains how. He explains things certain ways. You don't give a fuck as much about me, about how Sean McDermott talks, the press and all that. But I really do like a coach that's informed, a coach with a good pedigree, a good background. I never bought that Carolina's some awesome dynasty. That said, I do like, I've said it many times, I like McDermott's background as a wrestler, and I appreciate how hard it takes to get to the levels he was at. Google it, how far he got. It's fucking really high, like extremely high. And he's a technician. So I feel he's a guy that they say, hey, find the smart guy and put the right pieces with him. It's just he's a rookie at this too. At the same time, I just want to see a lot of good adjustments from him. But another at the same time is this thing is just really rough, Mike. And when they're telling me that, oh, just trust us, just trust the process, and there's some processes they've had as a staff in the past that I don't agree with, even in Carolina. And I feel time and time again, coaching staffs come in, they don't evaluate the offense correctly, or the team correctly, or at all, and they just have square pegs round hole syndrome, and it's coach after coach. But then you get somebody like McVay on the Rams who drafts Wade Phillips to come coach the defense, who always gets like a top 5 defense first year on that team. Pretty much went there in the coach draft for him. But my point being, Mike, is the popcorn is all about like, all right, you guys are going to blow these picks, this many picks, when you finally have a draft where it could just come to you and cool. It's almost like, a rebuilding year. Well, isn't the purpose of rebuilding to have to have a bunch of fucking high picks? Okay, cool. We already got that. So, like, my whole point is, all right, I'm going to eat the popcorn. You know better than me. Let's go. Because then when you fuck up, I'll just ding back to a podcast or a conversation you and I had, and there we go. So here I am, fucking eating my popcorn, like, all right, we're going into Minnesota, and I had to objectively look at it. How can they win? That's podcast 197 coming up. But 196 right now is, what is the funk going on in the Buffalo Bills, dude? Because that is you. I kind of agree with you, but I want.
You want the scoop?
No, hold on. Hold on.
What's going on? I got the scoop.
Hold on 1 sec. In my heart of hearts, I would love for your theory to be correct about Vontae Davis. Like, yo, this place is fucked up. I am fucking out. I am out.
That means you're a pretty fucked up person if you want that theory to be correct, but continue.
Yeah, because I don't think they could evaluate talent, frankly. Like, they can't.
Hey, Dave.
Anyways, Vontae Davis. Anyways.
I did happen to rank the quarterback that they decided to draft. Would I put him 6th?
Yes.
Yes, I did. So
you're my knowledge base on Josh Allen, dog. Frankly, so
yeah, and like I said, I understand what the fans are seeing and the excitement. Wow. And I get it. It's, ooh, whoa, did you see that throw? I'm like, yeah, I saw that throw. What about the 4 prior to that?
Or the read option where twice you could have had McCoy, and McCoy's like, dude, give it to me, homie. Like a touchdown game 1.
Dude, you don't have to tell me because I was watching the film and that was actually like the not reading this blitz and realizing you had Charles Clay wide open on man-to-man coverage and he could have easily picked up the first down, or not noticing you had Foster wide open down the field because there was blown coverage. Things like that, yada, 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 whatever. I get it. He's new. He's young, whatever. But when he didn't make the right read and he could have just handed the ball off and LaShawn McCoy could have gotten a lot of yards, and then he gets wrecked. I was dying. Like, I was just laughing, and I wasn't like laughing like,
yo, it's another popcorn moment, dude. It's another fucking, it's like, all right.
It was more like, I don't want, when you don't want to be right, you're like, man, I'm a Bills fan. I don't want to be right that this guy is trash. But like at the same time, from an analytics perspective, I'm like, look, I gotta be unbiased here. I can't just fall and enjoy the fruits of Buffalo. I'm like, look, I didn't think this guy was going to be good, and he in the film is showing me what I thought he would be. And we don't need Jeff George in Buffalo, and he wasn't welcome anywhere in the NFL. So. Look, I don't want my theories to be right, but this mass intellect that I got floating around in my brain, it just happens to be the case, more often than not.
So what does that have to do with Vontae Davis? You're saying that you don't trust their eyes at all for pro personnel?
What I'm saying is, just imagine being at a real crappy job where doesn't matter where you turn, you just have like opinions and who knows, maybe the CEO where, you don't hear about them in the news, but maybe they're overly involved and, they really want to help the team and their opinion is obviously matters because they own the squad. So whatever they say inevitably goes, and maybe they're not giving the people below them the freedom to do whatever they want. Just, like for the most part, they can kind of just do as they please, but certain decisions have to be ran through, ownership versus, middle management. So when you're in that situation and there's just a clusterfuck of bullshit going on around you, you're just like, I've been in this league 11 years. This place sucks. I thought, maybe they made the playoffs.
Are you sure it was 11
year.
years, dude? I thought it was like 9.
9. I don't care how many years he's been. I'm just ballparking here.
I thought he's not even 30 yet.
Okay, cool. That'd be wonderful, but I'm pretty sure he is 30. But anyways, he's just like, look, this is it. I'm done. I got a boatload of money last year. I got half that amount this year. Whatever. I've already made over $50 million he made. And he's just like, forget about it. This shit ain't even worth it.
I just don't know why. I just don't know why, like, the Bills just don't. It's almost like they just sit on their hands at that position right now.
Hey, Dave, tomorrow we can go golfing. I'll beat you with a putter.
Yeah, I don't care that much. So, in wrapping on Vontae Davis, I think it's unfortunate, clearly disrespectful to the team. As a quote-unquote man myself, I could never do that to a team. I've never left a hockey game. I'm usually the one where I don't care if we're getting blown out 8-1, 20 seconds left. I'm still back-checking. I don't give a fuck. You're not embarrassing us even more.
Dave, I was on a football team when I was youth. I don't know. It was before I even was able to play school football. So you're talking Pop Warner football, and I remember after a beating, we got like destroyed. It was like 40-0. We had scored maybe 2 touchdowns throughout the year, and we didn't have a win. Like, we were just getting trounced week in and week out. And I remember this piece of shit father coach of ours, and because he had his 2 kids on the team, and he sucked at coaching and didn't even know how to evaluate talent. Like, complete dumpster fire. Shouldn't have been coaching. But anyways, he's coaching us. And one of his speeches after the game, I don't remember all of the crap and disappointment words that he had for us, but the one part I remember, and it's distinct in my memory. He goes, I am ashamed to be your coach. Now, now I'm telling you, it's a Pop Warner, so
way to make the kids cry, you fuck.
We're like in what, 4th, 5th grade or something like that, and this grown man is just, I am ashamed.
How fat was this dude?
I am ashamed to be your coach. And I'm sitting there thinking, now, even then, I was a little cocky, arrogant bastard.
Really?
So, if you can imagine that. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, maybe if you were a better fucking coach and knew what the fuck you were doing, we wouldn't be getting trounced week in and week out, because his rotation was terrible. He couldn't even evaluate who was the best talent, because obviously his kids were better than everybody else, which they weren't. And, that was really the major reason. I mean,
Mike, why didn't you just blow the coach and get your ass on the field, dude?
That would be, for one, gay, and then 2, rape, and 3, there's a lot wrong with that situation with a 13-year-old blowing a coach to get on the field, but
you gotta be dedicated.
Just to let you know, Dave, our team scored 4 touchdowns in our 0-8 season, and actually it was one of the biggest trophies I ever received in my entire life. Like, we got a trophy, and that 0-8 trophy that we had stands about 16 inches tall. Like, it's on a nice solid pedestal.
Do you think the Lions got a trophy for 0-16?
I don't know, but I mean, shoot, the Browns did a parade. So, I mean, I think they outbeat our trophy, because we just had a trophy. They did a whole goddamn 0-16 parade. We didn't go that far, you know. We weren't throwing candy to people, be like, yeah, we suck.
Do you think Vontae Davis retired to go join the Browns? It seems to be a hot landing spot.
Dude, the Browns are making the playoffs, bro.
Dude, I said it on Twitter. People were like, oh, fuck you. I was like, yo, the Browns are probably going to have a better record than the Bills. And you get to a point where you stack so much fucking talent, you can't do anything but win.
I couldn't make that distinction until the quarterback that I liked the most was operating the team. Now that they've pulled the trigger sooner than later, I can say that the Browns
every fucking
good.
Team ever. Like, geez, thanks for giving me the hot bullshit in February till fucking September. Yeah, you know, we're just gonna have to see. Like, Mike show up at WGR was going off. Like, how can you tell me that this process that we've been doing tells us more than, yo, you already invested this many picks in it? Get the fucking kid in there. Like, there you go. You did all the research. You already counted them out.
Again, like I said, I'm just saying.
I thought it was a good point.
And we have 3 wins at the end of the season. I'm drafting a quarterback with our first pick. I don't know what they saw in Josh Allen, but the next class, knowing if you win 3 games, you're probably going to be number 1 overall this year. I would take that number 1 pick and I would get another quarterback, and I would say, Josh Allen, you can either read this goddamn coverage, you can either make these audibles, you can make these adjustments, or you can't, and this guy's going to play over you. That's what I would I would bring Josh Allen in to be like, hey, it's open competition. We're getting a quarterback number 1. You know, we watch the game tape and we're just not seeing it. I mean, you can prove us wrong, but this is what it is.
All right, yo, so how about this? I'm going to add a chapter to this title here. So after 2 games, or we should say a game and a half, what are you seeing from Josh Allen? I'll tell you what I see real quick because you're going to talk fucking forever. So, like, I'll lead you back in.
I'll keep it short. I'll keep it short.
I'll go first. I want to go first.
Go first. I'm just saying I'll keep my end short.
No, you don't have to. You can ramble on, Mike. I got nothing but time. I mean, all I got to do tomorrow is just watch the Bills game, and
I don't have nothing to do. Like I said, I'm just reaching in my cooler bag right here.
Oh.
Actually, you know what's nice about my cooler bag?
No.
Just to let you know.
Tell me more.
It's Buffalo red and blue. And, well, there's actually white in it, too. So red, white, and blue. But check this. So side note, before we go off on this tangent, I made the most amazing Buffalo Bills uniform possible. So check this. I was playing Madden. You know how you can mess around with the uniforms. 1990 Buffalo Bills helmet. That's the red Buffalo Bills helmet with the logo. Okay.
Yeah.
Color Rush jersey and socks. Okay.
Man, I already did that shit.
Check it. Black Nike shoes with the red. They're red and black Nike shoes to go along with the socks. And then you have the away blue pants. Phenomenal. Best jersey ever. I'll post that. You can share it. I'm telling you, it's lit, bro. Lit. It's way better than that stupid white helmet.
I'll tell you what. If you're a good boy, I'll talk to management, see if we could get you a Numb Bills Fan passer for Instagram. You can post anything you want. As long as you're fucking tight with your work and your work don't look like a fucking 7-year-old at it, because we just had to be just better than the next guy.
Hey, just to let you know.
My Josh Allen thoughts.
I had a learning disability growing up, so sometimes it may come across as 7-year-old because my English is not the greatest.
No fucking shit. Really, Mike? Come on.
It's not my English. It's just my typing, texting, and writing. I can speak it. And I can say it in my head as I type it or write it, but then I'll look at it later. I'm like, yo, I did not say that.
All right, well, since you don't
go on.
Since you don't ramble about anything, my thoughts on Josh Allen after a game and a half is really, Mike, the game does not look too big for Josh Allen. I am not really, frankly, worried about it at all. I'm really looking forward to it. He's keeping me glued, as I said last podcast, to watching. And excuse me, one thing you hope with players is they don't make the same mistake twice. You know what I mean? That said, it's going to happen. But as far as Josh Allen's scouting report and his inaccuracies and this and that, I will say he cleaned up his footwork decent compared to what it used to be, and that's good progress mechanically. But like you said before, when the live bullets are flying, you got to watch out. You're gonna go to your tendencies. But the thing with him is, it's he keeps the play alive, man. He is he's a more athletic Ben Roethlisberger, as in he's gonna drag a dude 10 yards, and he has so much arm strength. He's still gonna throw the ball, and it's just what we really need from Josh Allen, frankly, Mike, and I'm going to lead you after this, is, we need offensive line chemistry, but I hope we could salvage Zay Jones and some receivers here and have him develop some sandlot chemistry with those guys, because that's something that you got to have consistent receivers for. And it's I understand Tremaine Edmonds is great, for the team, this and that, but he was clearly exposed against the Chargers. We don't got to get into that. But my point is you gave up more picks for him. And I need Josh Allen to have fucking players that he's going to be with and develop fucking chemistry with out there. And I hope Zay Jones is one of them. He's very expensive to cut. You can't cut him next year. I think it's too much money. So, Mike, what are your thoughts on Josh Allen's progress? I think his footwork and his manipulation in the pocket is actually pretty decent. I don't think he's always making the right decision yet, but, dude, it's been a game and a half. What's your thoughts?
I would say anyone that saw what you just outlined didn't watch the film and didn't actually break down anything that he did and saw a couple of things that they liked, and they're like, wow. But if you put all of it together and you break it all down and you're non-biased and you're analytically correct, his footwork is not good. He is not moving around in the pocket very well. He's scared in the pocket. He's not looking downfield because he's worried about getting hit. He's not hanging in there when he can make a throw. He's not reading the defense at all. He's missing open wide. Like, you look at the score, and again, Dave, you got to watch the All-22 film, and you'll see how many times he's missing that whole backyard chemistry thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You still have to be able to find that person that's wide open in a backyard situation, which they're open, and he ain't getting the ball to him because he's not looking downfield. He's worried about getting torn up.
So let me defend my point and say other people who are hopefuls as well. Where the fuck did he go? I guess Mike decided I am out. Unless my phone just died. No. Oh, here he is. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, excellent.
All right, you're back. So all right. So let me defend my point here, and not even defend it, but I want to say, like, speak to the people who have a similar view of me, which is, in a nutshell, like, hey, he left me with hope. Da, da, da. And you know what I think it is, Mike? To be real with you, is
delusion.
No, well, here's why. Then I want you to rebuttal.
That's what it is, David. It's called delusion.
Let me rebuttal, and then you rebuttal. Okay, so you rebuttal the rebuttal. So look. I think what we have here is
delusion.
We have beer goggles of some sort because Nathan Peterman was the last thing we saw, and what we saw before that was a Tyrod Taylor, where he doesn't.
If Nathan Peterman,
can I finish?
No,
you just set you up. No. Listen to me. We saw
Nathan
Tyrod
Peterman
Taylor
had the protection that Josh Allen had on Sunday. It would have been a different game. I'm not saying the Bills would have won.
You're going to die in that Nathan fucking Peterman bullshit, aren't you?
Not only would it have been close, but my players that I selected for my fantasy lineup on Sunday, which were on the Chargers, would have just put up more points. They didn't because they pulled off. They said, you know what? Cruise control the rest of the way because these guys suck. And we don't have to put a lot of effort or energy or time or worrying about what play calls. We're just going to throw it out the window and we're going to throw it on cruise control because these guys are terrible. They're not coming back. We already whooped them up in the first half, and let's just relax. Let's not get hurt. Let's not do anything. But go on. If I'm going to appeal to this audience of yours.
Yeah, I know. I don't even remember my fucking point because you think
you were talking about some ludicrous audience who's balls deep on Josh Allen's nuts.
Dude, I'm just saying.
Yes,
it's like,
you were.
Do you think?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about.
Do you think that people are just disillusioned because the last thing we watched was Nate Peterman who can't make it through a game?
No, I think the delusion is people associate talent with.
How about making it through a game?
Okay, and people associate the fact that we've given up so many picks for a player, he must be good. But that doesn't mean anything. People and teams have given up this, that, and the other and gotten absolutely nothing in return. Happens all the time. If someone sees something that they like, they can convince themselves that that is great. They can see all the wow.
Dude, you're a stats guy, and Josh Allen's stats were not really even too bad. If you think about it, for his first game.
Where?
As far as yardage, like, he really wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I don't attribute garbage.
I mean,
yardage.
Dude, Peterman can't even throw a first down.
No.
What do you mean? No. Peterman can't even throw a first down, and he's in the conversation.
You can't count garbage yardage. Do you understand the difference between actual yardage and garbage yardage?
Yes, I do, but like...
It's when you're getting torched and it's 30-something to 3. Guess what? The defense isn't playing as tough. They're not. You're going to be able to get more time to pass. You're going to have receivers that are open. You're going to have room to run. You're going to have all these things. You know why? Because the other team's already won the game and they don't care. They're not trying as hard. They're not pressing you at the line. They're not knocking you down. They're not cutting. They're not hitting the seams. They're not doing all the things that they did to get to 39 or 40. They're not doing any of that. They're just like, yo, we won, bro. It's cool. We're out on the field. Not all of us, because some of us are already sitting down. We're getting IVs. We're sucking some oxygen. We're drinking Gatorade on the sideline. They're not doing anything. They're chilling. They're cool. They won the game. They don't care what happens. They don't care if you throw a 30-yard pass down the field to a receiver against a second or third string defensive back who they want to give a little more experience. So if needed in the future that they can perform, okay, they don't care. Okay, so the fact that you benched Nathan Peterman at half, and then people are like, oh, my God, Josh Allen looks so – of course he looked better. He looked better because he was playing the garbage time. You're going to look better in the garbage time. If Nathan Peterman got to play the garbage time, guess what? Nathan Peterman would have thrown for over 200 yards game one. He would have thrown a touchdown pass. But guess what? That's because some of it would have came in garbage time when the defense wasn't doing anything. That second game – the defense was terrible, okay? And the third game, they're going to be, well, I mean, they're going to get ran all over. And Latavius Murray, if you got him, start him, plug him.
Yo, we'll get to that in the next one.
Numbers.
Next podcast, we'll get to that one. Listen with your fucking rants, okay, rant pants? So look at it. I get you. So if I'm going to put in the podcast and quote you, which I'm going to maybe if you give me a gold title here, so you're saying Mike Smith says take off the Josh Allen beard goggles and be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, he's not good.
So what does simply put? So what does Josh Allen need to show you in the next few weeks per se to give you some hope here?
All right, so for Josh Allen to show me that he can
just give me a couple things and keep it tight. Just keep it tight.
Literally, he's got to be able to do a couple things. Read defenses, pre-snap. He's got to be able to find the open receiver, go through his progressions, and that's it. He's got to do those two things. I'm not worried about his accuracy because I don't think it's getting any better, okay? If he can do at least one or both of those two things, he'll be fine because even if he has a low completion percentage, if he's at least finding the open receiver, he's going to keep them in games.
I'll be honest, Mike. I think half the time, dude, with quarterbacks, it's like the really good ones, they don't need like huge windows to throw, like tight windows to throw to, because that's how like blatant the fucking opening is. You know what I mean? It's like really like, am I making sense?
Did you see the video that somebody made of Tom Brady?
No.
Had me dying. Yo, you got to watch this video. So the video is just like fucking Tom Brady. He's like, look at this pass. Look at this pass. Aaron Rodgers couldn't make this pass. Fucking amazing. He's like, this guy is wide fucking open. There's no one within 15 yards. Like, Aaron Rodgers couldn't make that pass. It's fucking beautiful pass. Beautiful pass. Oh, watch this play. Watch this play. 3-yard pass. 3-yard pass. Oh, my God. Fucking amazing. Like, best pass ever. Like, 3 yards. Like, amazing. They're like, oh, no, check this one out. Check this one out. Oh, yeah, he's going to make the fucking refs call fucking completion on this incomplete pass to fucking Rob Gronkowski. It's fucking amazing. And he's just going on and on and on. And all the plays are Tom Brady throwing to a wide open receiver or someone who's 10 yards away from him, who is either 10 yards and you're talking maybe 3 yards past the line of scrimmage because he's on a 7-step drop. But they're not far from him, and he's just making these real easy throws, but the players are making plays. You know what I mean? It's the ability to take what you have and say, hey, I don't have to do shit. I can dump it off to this dude. This dude's about to do his thing.
And that's why I think that, like, if Josh Allen can figure it out, will be good.
I'm just look, I'm not going to be a negative Nancy, but at the same time, I'm not going to say I'm wrong based on what I've said was wrong and
it's
right.
It's just so early, dude, for both of us to fucking be high or low. That's all.
I know. And the thing is, like, I would agree with you, but I watched all of his college tape too. So he is, like, to me, he hasn't shown me anything because he is not doing anything better than he did in college at this point, in my eyes.
Dude, they made it sound like it was going to be a dumpster fire, bro. They made it sound like it was going to be a dumpster fire, and I actually see a guy out there that, like, if you can just work on what he has and throw it to the right color fucking jersey, we'll be okay.
Okay, so has he been better than a dumpster fire?
No,
right,
but I think
he's lighting up the scoreboard. Is he doing anything like Peyton Manning?
Yes, he's doing better than a dumpster fire. He's doing better than I think what we could have. But honestly, I think.
Who would you rather have right now? Would you rather have Ryan Fitzpatrick started for the Buffalo Bills or Josh Allen?
You don't even get me going.
The fact that you didn't even answer quick tells me you would rather have Ryan Fitzpatrick.
You know what I would have rather had in hindsight? You might think this is crazy, and fucking some people are going to roll, and if they already died, they're going to roll in their graves.
They're going to leave the podcast.
No, you want to know something? I really wish the Bills, in hindsight, would have kept Chan Gailey and even Ryan Fitzpatrick, okay? And got him a defensive coordinator to bring into Buffalo, and because let me finish. Because when Chan Gailey went to the Jets, no, I'm not, dude. This is my fucking programming, motherfuckers.
Take it forever, bro.
No, listen. When Chan Gailey went to the Jets, he actually had a defense and weapons for Fitzpatrick, and he won 10 fucking games. And his offense still held up and will always hold up because the dude is smart and actually sees what their players do best and puts them in that position to succeed. Unlike it looks like even with the players we got now.
If Josh Allen could ever see the field like Ryan Fitzpatrick, he'd be phenomenal.
His Wonderlic is allegedly really high and super smart, but
I don't give a shit about his fucking Wonderlic.
Yeah, me either.
Doesn't mean shit. I don't know why that's even a thing. Okay.
So you're really seeing no improvement since college?
I haven't seen any. His footwork's not better. He's not seeing the field any better. His accuracy's not better. Okay. So
do you think he's at his ceiling?
I didn't say he's at his ceiling. I just said he hasn't improved at all since college. He's still overthrowing and underthrowing wide receivers.
I don't know, man. His short throws have been fine compared to what they said. His short throws have actually been pretty fine. Honestly, hey, Dave, how do you even rip on that, yo?
You have to watch all of that.
Dude, I did. I watched every throw he's made so far as a Bill, dude.
No, yeah, but you watched it in game speed.
Yeah,
and
dude, the throws of McCoy were actually pretty nice in the stadium. I could say that, all right?
Watch them all. Watch it. Go back and watch them all on the All-22 Coaches film, where you'll be able to betterly or more.
Would you ever want to do breakdowns if I set you up? Would you ever make a video and I'll edit it for you?
I was actually gonna. Can I do that? Are we allowed to show NFL tape? Like, can I just pull up the content and just let the world see? Because I think we can. Because I see it online all the time. So
no, I mean you technically can't. Like I know some people who get in trouble for doing
if they tell us to take it down, then they can suck a fucking blowhole.
Well, they might give me a cease and desist to Bills if we do that because it's NFL.
All right. Well, if they cease and desist, then we just can't show any more content. They can suck a blowhole. You know.
All right, Mike. Well, let me wrap this up. So that's your thoughts on Josh Allen, Vontae Davis.
Look. I'm just saying, if Josh Allen could just show me something. Show me that I selected you as the 6th best quarterback in this draft class, and I selected Baker Mayfield at number 1. Show me that at least I was wrong with your spot. Like, maybe you can move up. Maybe there's a spot between where you are and where I projected you to be. Like, maybe I was wrong about you. Obviously, Baker Mayfield looked nice. And, man, Cleveland, they should be, like, drinking, like, nonstop, like tequila, like anything, like amazing drinks. Like, that man's got the moxie. And they were talking shit about this man because he came to a press conference with his phone. Who cares if he wants to be Showtime, whatever. That's his own personality. But on the field as a quarterback, He's amazing. And not to mention the fact that he is amazing, throw this out there. Troy Aikman was the most overrated quarterback ever, and he was talking shit about it too. So he can eat a dick. So, if you look at his career winning percentage and stats, like if he didn't play for the Cowboys, he would have been, just some schmuck on a bench.
Fucking Jeff George at best.
Yeah, dude, Troy Aikman was terrible. Okay,
all right, Mike. This podcast is over. Brought to you by Punch Drunk Sports. Follow them on Twitter at Punch Drunk. Follow Mike
Red
Smith.
Stag.
Yeah, will you stop fucking talking over me, you dick? At Fantasy Smitty, and follow Numb Bills Fan on Twitter. NumbBillsFan.com for all the content. Facebook Live. Follow along on Facebook and do your thing. Mike, any last thoughts?
I can tell you what. I can't wait till tomorrow, because the greatest thing happened to my fantasy teams this week, which was Josh Gordon went to the New England Patriots. I have 9 Josh Gordon shares, okay?
And I have him in your Dynasty League.
Yeah, that's great. I have 33 leagues.
All right, well, we'll talk about that coming up. So stay tuned for Mike's Fantasy Hour. I'm your host, David Palermo. That is Mike Smith. Wow.